Hi there, welcome to video number 201. This one is on listing outcomes, and the keywords I've got for you are outcomes and sample space diagram. Now, outcomes are the results of putting some events together. So something's going to happen, something else is going to happen. Right? What's the outcome? And then the sample space diagram is a nice way of organizing that information into a table. Okay, and you could just write an ordered list, is one of the things that we could do for the method here, is just simply write an ordered list. You could create a little two-way table sort of looking thing if there's just two events occurring at the same time. Or you may need to construct a bigger sample space diagram to record all the possible outcomes. You can use that then to answer any probability questions you might be asked afterwards. Okay, so in question number 1, Janet flips a fair coin and rolls a fair dice. List all the possible outcomes she could get when doing this. So on a coin, you've got a heads as an option and a tails, fair one. And on a fair dice, you've got, or a normal dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as the options. So we create a little table for that information, and then we've got some spaces where we can put the outcomes. That's what we're saying. When we combine a couple of events, we get an outcome here of potentially heads and a 1. We could have got that. Heads and a 2, heads and a 3, and I think you probably get the idea of what I'm going to carry on doing now. There we go. So there's our options for the heads, and then potentially exactly the same for the tails. Tails 1, tails 2, tails 3, tails 4, tails and 5, tails and 6. They are all the outcomes. Okay, so there are 12 different potential outcomes when you flip a coin and roll a dice at the same time. 12 different outcomes. Okay, you might be asked to answer a probability question off the back of that, but we are not in this particular one. Now, in question number 2, Harry, Barry, Carrie, Larry and Sue are all available to play badminton together. 2 are picked at random. How many possible pairings are there? So there's a slightly different thing here in that we just maybe need to systematically list these people together. Now think about this logically. Harry can't be paired with himself. Okay, so we're not going to do an H and H here. We don't really need a table for this one. Harry and Barry, if they were paired together, that's the same as Barry and Harry being paired together. They are the two same people. So I'm just going to start with Harry. I'm going to go with H and B, Harry and Barry. And I'm going to say Harry and Carrie could play together, and Harry and Larry could also play together. And so could Harry and Sue. Alright, there's all the Harry options. Then I've got Barry and Harry, which is already listed. So Barry and Barry, which we don't need to do, and Barry and Carrie. So systematically going through B and C, B and L, B and S. Okay, and we've got all the Barry options there. Then we've got Carrie and Larry, and Carrie and Sue, and then we've got Larry and Sue. Okay, and then obviously Sue's already been there in these various different combinations here. So that is all the options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 possible pairings for the game of badminton that is going on. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. It's nice and systematic. You do it in order. Okay, think about it logically. What's the probability that Sue plays badminton? Well, you've got to look at how many times Sue is in this list. Right, there's Sue, there's Sue, there's Sue, there's Sue. Sue's nowhere else. Okay, that Sue is there 4 times out of the total number of 10 that we've just found out. The 10 possible pairings there are. So the probability she plays is 4/10, 0.4, 2/5, 40%, whatever you want to write, but they are all equivalent. That's the easiest one to do. 4/10, nothing else needed. Okay, right, now in question 3, we've got Dante, and Dante is going to roll 2 fair 6-sided dice and add the results to get a total score. You've got to list all the possible outcomes of that particular event. Okay, so we need to create a sample space diagram. So we're going to write down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do the same thing along the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, those are the outcomes of single dice. And if we're going to add the results, right, we need to think of what 1 plus 1 is for the first one. Okay. 1 plus 1 is 2, and really we want to create some nice lines down here, so just bear with me whilst I do this. Really would be nice to use a ruler and a pencil and do it with nice straight lines, but you don't necessarily have to. The table, if it was an exam question, would probably be already there for you, and you might just need to fill in a few missing numbers or something like that. But 2 plus 1, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Easy to add those numbers. Then 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 2 is 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, just add them. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. It might be that we have to multiply the numbers together, just be depending upon the question. Just test a little bit of your understanding of how to do very basic operations. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You might notice there's a pattern as well, diagonal pattern going on, which is nice. Right, there we go. There are all our possible outcomes. 6 times 6, 36, 36 different outcomes. Might ask us for that. Now, what's the probability that he gets a score that is higher than 7? How many of these numbers are higher than 7? You might want to just highlight them. 8 is more than 7. Okay, so it's 9, 10 and 11. So we need to count all of these options here, and that will be the top of our fraction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 potential numbers. So that is that 15? 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 15. So 15 out of 36 numbers are higher than the score of 7. Okay, and that is how we answer a listing outcomes question using a sample space diagram. Like I said, there are slight variations on it that test your ability to use different operations, but I think that's quite logical. It works for my brain anyway. So hopefully that works for yours too, and you are learning and continue to do so. Click the links in the description, comment, like, subscribe and all that business. But most of all, just take care of yourself. Thanks very much. Bye bye.